Hey, well, welcome back to the Legacymakers conversation. Ben here with my wife, Meg. We've got an interesting conversation today that we want to share and kind of open up our thoughts about. It's on the issue of dating and the lack of dating and the delay of marriage, which is inevitably a delay of families. And it's a big topic. There's this study that just came out, the Institute of Family Studies, which is a great organization. They just came out with this State of Our Union's 2026 report. And in this study, there's this realization that there's this a recession of dating. Only 30% of young adults are actively dating. Only 30%. That's pretty low. 74% of young women and 64% of young men have barely dated in the past year. Yet 83% of women and 74% of men say that they want serious relationships leading to marriage. But it seems like there's a gap between what they want and actually taking action. So I think as it relates to legacy makers, it's an interesting conversation because, yes, it does impact family, like the family unit. I think as a nation, our nation relies on families. Mm-hmm. And the strength of our nation is in the strength of our families. And if there's no families, then I don't think we can have a strong nation.
Well, and I think that's like really where the problem lies is dating has become our whole culture is very individualized.
Yeah.
But dating has followed that in that it's a very individualized activity instead of it being something that is centered around the family. And dating, or courting, like in the words of old,
yep.
in all these like books I'm reading too, you see how it's such a, like family is involved in the whole process. Family approval and family, like meeting with the family before anything advances.
Yeah.
That they, are involved in the whole process.
So why do you think dating is like experiencing a recession?
Well, I mean, I think technology is part of it. I mean, people probably have really bad experiences dating online and stuff.
Totally.
And I think, this study tells us some of the reasons. I think some of the reasons are, it says lack of money, lack of confidence is 49% is lack of confidence. And 48% is bad past dating experiences. So, I mean, I think it does ultimately come back to like how the children are being raised in the home and then the cultural, beliefs that they have. But if it's a lack of confidence, I mean, I think young men are not being taught how to properly pursue a woman. Yeah. And women, don't know how to be pursued. Yeah. All of culture is telling women that they need to go out there and get what they want. Yeah. They don't really know how to just be pursued.
I think that there is I think it's a good question for parents to think about, critically think about like their use and acceptance of technology in their family. Because, this says, what did you say, 49%? From bad past dating experiences. But I'm just thinking about in terms of like how we want to set up our kids for success. Technology is a artificial sense of connection. Social media, right? The DMs, there's no personal touch. And in my mind, it makes me think that as parents, we have to answer that question. Like, what is the limitations? Like, what is the boundaries we're going to set with our kids? Because it will have generational effect on like the future of our family. Think about it. If your kids are waiting until they're 35 to get married, they're going to have maybe fewer kids. They're probably going to have a weaker sense of commitment and what that means and what that looks like. And it's a distraction. Technology is a huge distraction for families.
Yeah.
And it's like, as parents, if we're letting our kids continue to use cell phones and technology to find connection, or maybe as families we don't have clear boundaries on it.
How can boundaries on technology help our kids in the dating sphere as they grow up?
Say that again.
Like, how does creating boundaries in technology encourage better dating outcomes in their future?
Well, so I think that, first of all, it forces like physical proximal like relationships. So it puts your children in a place where they have to learn how to converse and commune with human beings
people
in real life, and learn how to navigate communicating and relating and sharing life and walking life out with each other. Which obviously is a huge, it's a huge level up for kids if they can learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And back in the day, you think back in like before phones, I mean, that's all it was. It was kids outside playing and having fun and talking and doing things together. And they're learning to relate and converse and emote with their fellow human being versus through a screen. So there's a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I'm reading the Joe's Boys, which is like a, I'm reading that, but it's like the third book after Little Women. And so it's right now the point I'm at is all these boys that Joe, had this school and like helped them raise them. Now they've grown and they're like, just last night I was reading about how now they're all like pursuing these girls and they're all getting engaged and stuff. And it's so funny to watch. It's funny to like see the difference of how people got engaged back then and what the courting process was so different, because today, like, our dating is first you hang out and you're talking, probably like DMing each other, and then you start maybe like seeing each other, connecting, doing fun things together, and then if you still like each other, you keep going. If you don't, you just like cut it out. You're just like training yourself to just like bail when you don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
But you keep going, and then it's like this long journey till you get to engagement, and then typically a very long engagement till you get married.
Yeah.
And in this story, at least, which you see this in a lot of like older literature too, is these people are like getting to know each other just in social circles, and then they realize they love each other and they have to, get the approval of their parents first. And then they do some sweet little romantic gesture that is oftentimes like actually very unclear that what they're even asking. Like, it's so unclear. It's hilarious. But they do some romantic gesture and then they're engaged. And then it's like a month later, they're married, and there's no like big, thing. Or sometimes they get engaged and then it's like they have to wait until the husband or the man has like earned enough to create a life for them. So then they're just patiently waiting, but they've like promised themselves to each other, but they're living somewhat separate lives at that point. So I don't know. I just say all that to say like the process of how we go about dating is just so self-focused, and it's so about like what we want and what's fun for us and what we want to get out of the marriage, as opposed to like teaching our kids to get to know people as friends and in these social settings, and then really get to know their family, and then it's like you already know that you want to marry them. It doesn't have to be this long build up of all this like sexual tension and these young years of passion, and it's, you can create a foundation that is really formed on relationship and involves the family.
That's so good. Do you feel like the isolation idea, the individualism idea has like prevented that from like being more available? in today's day and age?
Well, I think largely people don't have. I think a lot of young people don't have relationships with, their parents in a way that they want to involve them in their dating experience. I think, and yeah, I think having more individual perspective doesn't allow us to think about dating in like a generational mindset where, we're thinking about dating for what we are wanting for our future, as opposed to thinking of this person who is joining our family, joining families together. Mm-hmm. And how are we? Yeah. How would that affect if we thought generationally about dating? How would that impact who we're choosing even?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, there would probably be much more thought that goes into it.
Yeah.
Because, you'd have you'd have a lot more, there'd be a lot bigger impact. Mm-hmm. If you really thought about it. Yeah, that's interesting. That's a really good thought because I'm just sitting here thinking like, it's so rare to think like that these days. Mm-hmm. And it's easy to get caught up in the direction that culture is going and that river that culture is going. But as families, like, what can we do to go against that current in our own family as we're looking at how can we educate and inform and talk about dating relationships and marriage, preparing our children for marriage?
Well, I don't know. I guess
in their upbringing.
How did you learn it? Because I feel like we dated well, I think.
Yeah, we did.
And yet you didn't. Yeah, I don't know. How did you learn that? What informed your way you went about dating me?
That's a good question. I think it was the Lord.
Yeah.
A lot of it was the Lord. I'm trying to remember now, but I think part of it is where I grew up. It's a culture of, I think generally speaking, the place that I grew up in it's just kind of generally accepted that it's a culture of commitment. Like you stay here for the long haul, you commit for the long haul. I saw that modeled. Mm-hmm. Like I saw that modeled through hardship. I saw commitment modeled. And then I think just there were specific individuals that I was around that spoke to me, that mentored me, that talked to me, and really helped me think critically about marriage and the future of what it is outside of infatuation, outside of,
Well, that's the thing, I think, too. And that's something we can even help our kids from a young age, is helping them understand that dating is for the purpose of marriage. Mm-hmm. And so you're not dating just to fill a void or find someone to hang out with. Yeah. But or because you think someone's pretty, you can think someone's pretty and still get to know them as a friend together with others. Yeah. But like actually dating for the purpose of marriage.
Yeah. I think part of the issue is we have to give our kids a chance to be around people. And we have to put them in settings and situations where they're going to have time to get to know the opposite sex in a healthy way, in a healthy framework and setting, whether it's school groups or sports or other community events. I think church is a great place to have that and experience that, so that they can do that. Like they can get to know them, get to know the opposite sex as a friend, and get to know who they are. And then along the way, think about like, what is it? What could it look like? Encourage them, give them questions to think about, like, what kind of things do they want to think about for their marriage? So.
Oh, yeah.
It's good stuff. What do you think are the biggest lies our culture tells young people about dating and marriage?
I think, why don't you share like what our, I don't know, what our dating experience was like?
Okay.
What did it look like to intentionally date?
Yeah. And I think sharing this would be good because then it would give people ideas to think about how they can encourage their kids to potentially like date and be intentional about it.
You want me to share?
No, I'll share. You can add in, you can fill in. I'll try not to get too detailed.
I know.
If I get too detailed, you just stop me. Yeah, so Megan and I, we met at a school in Arkansas, and it was a unique program where it wasn't like your typical college experience, but it was a very intentional leadership training program. And so part of the program was that you're every single day for 2 years, we were together for many hours of the day, the whole group, all the students. And that allowed what I was just sharing before, which is time and space to get to know the opposite gender from like a friendship perspective. And even share life together. Like we're sharing life. We're doing things together with the opposite gender in a healthy setting. And so, I think the natural progression in that sense is like when you're young, for me anyway, like you're thinking about like your relationships. You're thinking about marriage. And so there was a moment, I can't remember now.
Let me jump in.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So then
Getting off track.
you one day approached me and asked if you could talk, and then told me you were interested in pursuing a relationship with me. That was like the phrasing you used, and asked if I was interested too. And so it was like a very, I don't know, you were clearly making your intentions known, but it wasn't like you were just kind of testing the waters, seeing if I was interested. And at the time I had actually decided not to date while we were at school.
But didn't that go through like this list of things that I appreciated in you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did. You were so nervous too.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you were so nervous. Your voice was all shaky and you told me all these things you liked about me.
Yeah.
A whole list of wonderful things. And then told me if you asked if I was interested in pursuing a more intentional relationship. And I at the time I was like very closed off because I had decided not to date. And so I was kind of interested, but like I didn't really let myself be interested because I didn't want to. And so I was like, well, I would, I think, but I've decided not to date. So then you decided to wait, or we decided to wait.
Yeah.
But you had this whole plan of how to keep intentionally getting to know each other within the boundaries of friendship because I didn't want to yet.
So kind of behind the scenes, I was intentionally pursuing you to get to know you more specifically, more than anyone else. Yeah.
But we, like, one of our rules is we wouldn't be alone together.
Yeah.
In that time. And then when did you call my dad? But that was at the end, like before. No, it was like kind of in the middle.
Yeah, it was kind of in the middle.
So it was like 5 months of the waiting.
Yeah, I called your dad and asked if it was okay.
Yeah.
If I don't even know what the term I used, but
dated me.
Did I use? I can't.
You probably said court.
I don't know. Either courted or dated.
Yeah.
Or had a start a relationship. I don't know. I said.
He still has the voicemail.
Yeah, he still has it. That was just for dating too. I called and asked your dad.
Yeah.
If I could date you.
Yeah. And then my dad was not planning to come out for our graduation or anything, so it was just like, small school and not a big deal. But then he got that phone call and he's like, I'm coming out there. I have to meet Ben. So yeah, then he came out.
Yeah.
I don't know what else do you want to share?
Yeah, no, and then I think we had lunch or breakfast or something after the program was over. We graduated. Me and you and Ian got lunch, right?
I mean, you definitely met with him again. I can't remember.
I can't remember either now. But there was a few moments too, like once a month, I think between the time that I had initially asked you and between the program being over, I would kind of check in.
Yeah.
I would just a little check in just to make sure we're kind of still on the same page and we still kind of, at the end of the program, do we still want this?
Yeah.
I kind of asked that. And, we both were like, okay, yeah, we're still waiting. We're not dating. We're still interested in the opportunity.
Keeping me on track here.
Yeah. I was leading you.
You were.
And, and then, that was, well, no. And then we moved. So then we moved back. I moved back home and you moved.
Yeah. Because we weren't dating, we decided to make our plans separately. Mm-hmm. So I came back to California to work at a church, and then you decided to continue your education, and so you did that in Kansas.
Yeah,
because we weren't dating yet, we didn't want to make our plans together. Mm-hmm. But then that meant
we weren't committed. We weren't in a committed dating relationship at the time.
Yes.
So we moved back,
once we graduated, we officially became boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah, we were official then.
But then it was long distance.
We were long distance.
Yeah.
And we were long distance for 6 months.
Well, and the month, so it was 2 weeks before graduation. Actually, we had this whole your last check-in. It was your last check-in that you, we went to Panera and we had a little meeting where we decided all these different what we wanted our dating to look like. Is essentially what it was.
Yeah, that's right.
And different boundaries we wanted to have.
I have that list somewhere. I'm pretty
no
sure
way. Do you really? That'd be funny to look at. But yeah, we had all these. What else was on there besides boundaries? I know we had boundaries, but we decided we both actually individually both wanted to not kiss until our wedding day. That was one thing.
Yeah.
And then we said we wanted to both try to see, since we knew we'd be long distance, see each other once a month or something.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. There was other things.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it was kind of just up to us, in the between time where we would talk and text, and we'd do FaceTime. And at this one point we watched a movie over FaceTime.
Yeah, we had
sushi.
Yeah, that was fun.
I had sushi delivered to your house in California.
Yeah.
Did I have sushi at my
That was really good sushi. Wait, and then when we ate sushi and watched a movie on FaceTime? So. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I remember that. Good time.
So funny.
Yeah. Oh.
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Do you want to turn it off? So I think in sharing that, I don't know, I think it's just kind of interesting to think about that. It's not the perfect model for dating, but...
Well, that was pre-dating, I guess, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that was pre-dating. And then dating was long distance. So it's even that, I know that's kind of different for a lot of people, but I think what that created in us was even more opportunity to get to know each other and each other's hearts and each other's visions for life and character, because we weren't seeing each other. We didn't have the issue of being physically present and navigating, the tensions in that.
Yeah.
Because we were long distance. So we just were communicating. We were talking.
Yeah, and it did allow us to connect with each other's families, because when we would visit each other, we would stay with each other's families. So
yeah,
I think that helped too.
Yeah, that's true, which is huge.
Yeah. And
then we got engaged over Christmas, and then we were engaged for 6 months, essentially. And then I moved out to California and got an apartment and got married.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I'm just thinking about it now. Sorry, we got Clive in the background. No babysitter today for Clive. But I'm just thinking about it now too. It's it really, I believe that our dating relationship was a picture of how we've lived in our marriage. It really, I think, set our marriage up for what it is today.
Yeah.
Compared to, not to compare other people, but different alternative, ways of doing it is if you're together all the time and you're intimate physically before you get married, or you're navigating all these different things and you're not really learning how to navigate having deep conversations, how to navigate different perspectives and different opinions, and even navigate commitment. commitment through long distance. Come here, Clivey. Come here, Bubba.
Oh,
Come here.
oh, buddy.
You can sit with Daddy. Nope, he wants to sit with Mommy. This podcast is a family affair podcast where we go one, we go all. Now you got your mommy. Good for you, bud. Do you think there's a way for churches to create environments where people can get to know each other in healthy ways?
I do think like there's a space for teaching about singleness even and what healthy dating looks like, and I think churches could speak into that. But I don't know, beyond like having, young adults things, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas?
No, that's good. I mean, yeah, I think that's important to offer. I think it's important to offer with continued perspective of like, hey, this is what healthy dating looks like. Hey, this is, how to approach these different things and how to approach communication and commitment. How do you feel like parents can model and encourage? I think back to the idea, like you were saying it earlier, people wait so long now to get married. Mm-hmm. And I think you were mentioning that part of it is because we're thinking about what do we want? What is it? It's like about me. And I think that there's this other perspective of commitment that isn't just about me, but it's about what does it mean to love? What is love? Is love about like what you can get, or is love about like what you can give? Because as parents, like we have to model that love is not a feeling. Love is an action. Love is a verb. We have to make a choice. We have to decide to love. Yeah, he's so fun. Right?
Yeah, totally.
So how can we as parents like model that kind of commitment to where it's like, okay, if we don't think that waiting until you're 30, 35 to get married is like the best decision for the family generationally, like how can we encourage wholehearted commitment earlier? What do you think?
I'm sorry, the question is how can we model commitment?
How can we encourage it?
How can we encourage it?
How can we encourage our children? Obviously, again,
I think part of it would be to just make them follow through with their commitments as they're growing up. If they're committed to some sort of activity or team that they no longer are interested in, making them follow through with it until their commitment is complete.
Yeah.
Or, I think our own marriage and like being committed to one another through hardship and through everything is a huge example. Mm-hmm. I think even friendships, like our kids are going to have struggles with their friends. I think especially girls experience that a lot as they get older. And just learning how to reconcile and work through things instead of just give up on friends or, change friendships, but learning how to really work through things and be committed and loyal to your friends. Mm-hmm. I think that's all contribute.
Yeah, I think that teaches children how to stay in it even when it gets hard.
But I do think as it relates to dating, I do think our cultural take on dating doesn't model commitment because, like I said, it's like someone, you're over and you just break up, which of course you don't want to stay with somebody you shouldn't be with. But I think that's part of the narrative of our modern dating is if you wait longer to actually like start officially dating because you're getting to know them in other ways first, then that's going to help create that narrative in your mind that, it's for a long-term relationship. It's not for just fulfilling your needs.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, that's been a really good topic to think about and to conversate about. I think marriage is important, and I think it's okay. Like, I think it's good, like, for kids to. When I say kids, I say teenagers, maybe, late teens, getting closer to graduating high school and going, college age.
Do you think, okay, this is like a side thing. Do you think that any of this like people have stopped dating thing is contributed at all to people starting dating so early? Like, I feel like when I was a kid, I mean, you didn't have a boyfriend and girlfriend in like elementary school, but you feel like I hear kids who have these, boyfriends and girlfriends like so young.
Clive, you're so silly.
I feel like that just started them off young in a situation that they're, heartbreak after heartbreak. Yeah. I would want to give up by the time I'm 22 too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if there is a range. I think is there like a healthy range where it's okay and like to start kind of considering that? I think it's good. I think it's actually good. Like, if you can encourage and educate your children in the ages of like the teenage realm, where they've experienced puberty and they're experiencing hormones and growing and getting bigger, to have like a healthy environment where they're learning to and you're encouraging them to think about marriage, and you're encouraging them to actually think about, like, hey, maybe they're 16 and they're 17 and you're having the conversation of, you're going to be married one day, and maybe that's hopefully that's sooner than later. So start thinking about it. Like, how can we help you think about this? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you want to do that?
Yeah, for sure. I think to put boundaries on when kids can start dating, though, is also healthy.
For sure.
Because if they're not anywhere near, the age where it's appropriate to be married, then what's the point?
Yeah. What do you think that range is?
Of when it's appropriate?
I mean, obviously it's going to be, it's case by case. It's subjective to where they're at. But what do you think the range is? Clive's right there in the middle.
I mean, no one's going to get married until after 18. So I'd say shortly before that, it would be the range.
16, 17, 18.
Because you're...
Yeah. That's good. Clive, you just started the show right now.
Let's wrap this
So good. Hey, well, thank you guys so much for listening to this conversation. Clive has taken over the show. He is the star now. So we're just so glad you guys tuned in. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. Share them on our podcast. Make sure to subscribe if it was helpful content. Share give us a review as well, and we will see you soon.